What is up, guys? This is Joel back again today. I am sorry it's been so long since I've really put out a video like this. I've been working hard at getting my business up and running. I got this new studio space lined up and everything. So yeah, we're going to be doing a little bit of a different video today. It's going to be mixing R&B vocals. It's on one of my songs called Rendezvous. Just released it last week. It's available on all streaming services under my name, Joel Blackmon. So if you check it out, be cool. I'm going to show you guys how I mixed everything and all that. The support on the last video was awesome. All you guys are just asking how to do male vocals and things like that. So hopefully this video will deliver in that, and we're going to use some Waves plugins today. So yep, alright, we'll see you in it. Alright guys, so we're back today doing male R&B vocals. This was requested by a lot of you, as my last video was doing some female vocals. And so today we're going to be doing these R&B singing style vocals, and I might do rap vocals in the future if I get enough attention towards this. When it comes to the song, it was all recorded using the Aston Spirit, the microphone I'm recording on right now, through the Universal Audio Apollo Twin, and yeah, so the signal chain was really clean. I just recorded through a simple 1176 compressor and a little bit of a preamp boosting some highs. But yeah, so as far as that goes, I'm going to play you a little bit of the song as with the vocals dry and everything, and then we'll get into mixing.
Girl, we started out in Nashville. You've been on my mind, swear you've been there all the time. Said I'm gonna catch a flight to you. I'll pick you up at 9, honey, does that feel right? Like what you mean when you say you're not about it? 17, you had your crazy mama doubting.
So yeah, basically what I'm looking for here, I'm just going to compress the vocal a little bit more. We're going to round out some of the peaks and transients over here, as well as some of the low points like this right here, and some of these throughout here, and just kind of get everything a little bit more rounded, as well as add that brightness that comes with pop and R&B vocals and things like that. So let's go ahead and get into it. So we're going to load up this preset here, and this has a bunch of Waves plugins that I have already aligned and everything with what I'll need for making this. The audio track we're just going to use for some basic gating.
You've been there all the time, said I'm gonna catch a flight to you. I'll pick you up at 9, honey. I'll pick you up at 9, honey, does that feel right? Like what you mean when you say you're not about it? 17, you had your crazy mama doubting. You, then me, not you, then me, till we pull it right back. We go week to week like I'm confused. How about...
Cool. So I don't want to take out all the breaths and things, make it sound too unnatural, but I do want that noise to be gone. So that's all we're going to use this audio track for. I could have used just like a regular gate plugin, but I want the added ability if I need to go and take out some trashy frequencies or anything like that. Next, we're going to use a de-esser, and this is just to kind of control those sibilant and harsh frequencies up in the upper range. We're just going to use a band pass here.
Me, not you, then me, till we pull it right back. We go week to week like I'm confused. How about we just set the mood? Light a candle, mountaintop somewhere in Malibu, or on the street in Malibu, long as it's okay with you.
Cool, so we're just catching those S's. Next in the channel strip, we have an REQ6 here. I'm going to go ahead and unmute the instrumental here so we can hear everything in the context of the mix. Then we're just going to kind of get some low end out and then dip some muddy frequencies.
Started out in Nashville. You've been on my mind, swear you've been there all the time. Said I'm gonna catch a flight to you. I'll pick you up at 9, honey, does that feel right?
I think about 125 is probably a pretty safe area. It kind of gets all that low muddiness out of there, and we don't really need any of those, especially for R&B. So we're going to go ahead and solo a band, make it really quite a tight cue, and then we're going to just, hover, try and find the bad frequencies.
Pick you up at 9, honey, does that feel right? Like what you mean when you say you're not about it? 17, you had your crazy mama doubting. You, then me, not you.
Just going to take out 220 a little bit, about 3 decibels.
Pick you up at 9, honey, does that feel right? Like what you mean when you say you're not about it? 17, you had your crazy mama doubting. You, then me, not you, then me, till we pull it right back. We go week
another 3 decibels out of about 500 here, 489 in my case. Basically just looking for using your ear to look for those, harsh frequencies that are going to cause problems later on. This is a Renaissance compressor from Waves. It's a great, style compressor. It does everything really smoothly, and, there's all these settings up here that you can make opto smooth, opto electro warm. And I typically lean towards opto warm. I love the settings and just how it lends itself to this style vocal, especially. It really gives some nice crisp, mid-range in there, as Waves plugins typically do. Off the top, I'm just going to lower the attack a little bit, widen the release just a little bit. That'll make the vocal sit a little bit better in the mix. If you have it too high up here and, releasing too quickly, you're going to let through some of that nastiness, and it's going to cause the vocal to be way too up front. So I'm going to release about 200. And go ahead and preset the ratio, about 3 to 4, somewhere in there. And then we're just going to mess with the threshold, and then we'll gain back what we take out.
Pick you up at 9, honey, does that feel right? Like what you mean when you say you're not about it? 17, you acted crazy, mama doubted. You, then me, not you, then me. Till we pull it right back, we go week to week. Like I'm confused, how about we just set the mood? Light a candle, mountaintop somewhere in Malibu, or on the street in Malibu, long as it's okay with you.
So we're just kind of taking it and making it a little bit more brick-like there. Really just kind of squashing some of those transients, but without making it sound unnaturally squashed or anything like that. Next, we're going to use this C4 multi-band compressor from Waves as well. We're basically going to take this, and what I want to do is just add some thickness throughout the mid-range of the vocal, and add a little bit of brightness as well. So we're going to take it, look something like this. So brightness above maybe like 8K or so. And what I like to do here is kind of fake the idea of brightness without killing your ears. So I'm gonna squash this mid-range, because that's where I know the snare is gonna hit pretty hard and things like that. And then all of these releases are gonna be fairly fast. I'm gonna put this one at 40, this one roughly 30, this one at 30 as well. And really, I just want to look for these areas going back down to level after you get a glimmer of that brightness up in this area, and then it compresses it back down to 0.
You, then me, not you, then me. Till we pull it right back, we go week to week. Like I'm confused, how about we just set the mood?
And as you can hear, that plugin is really doing a lot for us if we unsolo it and solo it here.
Pick you up at 9, honey, does that feel right? Like what you mean when you say you're not about it? 17, you acted crazy, mama doubted.
Add some really great brightness and things like that when it comes to the compression side, and it's not overkilling it with compression either. So next in the chain, we're going to use this SSL EQ. And this is going to be used basically just as a little bit more added brightness and everything like that. We don't really need any more cleanup, as we already have the other EQ in here. So we're just going to add some needed presence and brightness here. So with our high mids,
hey, what you mean when you say you're not about it?
We're going to go about 6K, boost just a couple dB here.
17, you acted crazy, mama doubted.
You can't go too overkill with that, as that is your that's where the S's were and things like that. So if you have that, then you're going to make sure you need to compensate with another de-esser or something if you want it even brighter. As far as this goes, we're going to take this and go to maybe 14 kilohertz, and we're just going to boost maybe 5 or 6 dB, which I know sounds extreme, but really we want a lot of crispiness and brightness out of these RnB type vocals.
You, then me, not you, then me. Till we pull it right back, we go week to week. Like I'm confused, how about we just set the mood?
So we're going to about 4.5 dB at 14K, and that's really giving us some nice crispiness. Next in the chain is this UAD Teletronics LA2A. I'm going to put it from mono to stereo here. And this one is going to be really kind of like our parallel style compressor, where we're really just kind of squashing the vocal.
Pick you up at 9, honey, does that feel right? Like what you mean when you say you're not about it? 17, you acted crazy, mama doubted. You, then me, not you, then me, till we pull it right back. We go week to week like I'm confused. How about we just set the mood? Light a candle, mountaintop somewhere in Malibu, or on the street in Malibu, long as it's okay with you.
Alright, cool. So we're really getting some nice roundedness out of this, and overall just kind of bouncing the vocal, really just kind of making it stand out. Some of my favorite plugins next are the two that are coming up here. This is J37 from Waves, and then the next one is our only plugin that is different from Waves. It's Isotope Ozone 8 Exciter. So we're going to go to J37 here, and I typically just start with the male vocal warmth preset, which is preset number 45 in my case here. And basically it's just going to give us some nice added roundness and warmth to the vocal. You can really just tell when it comes to bypassing it.
Pick you up at 9, honey, does that feel right? Like what you mean when you say you're not about it? 17, you acted crazy, mama doubting. You, then me, not you.
So just giving us some really great frequencies and everything to work with. And then past that, this is kind of an optional setting, but I typically go to an exciter, like Ozone, for example. I'm going to ignore that, not sure what that's about. But as far as, this goes, basically I'm just going to get some warmth and some tape machine in the mix out here, and then we're really just going to add very subtle amounts. So I have, as you can see, 50% at the 2.0, and then 1 at the about 70% here for the warmth. And you can see how that sounds.
Then me, till we pull it right back. We go week to week like I'm confused. How about we just set the mood? Light a candle, mountaintop somewhere in Malibu, or on the street in Malibu, long as it's okay with you.
Cool. So as far as that goes, next we're just going to pull up this de-esser for our last plugin in the strip again, and really just kind of tune it in to make sure those S's are staying in the back where we don't want those kind of hurting your ears.
Pick you up at 9, honey, does that feel right? Like what you mean when you say you're not about it? 17, you acted crazy, mama doubting. You, then me, not you, then me, till we pull it right back.
And I really just changed this frequency to get a little bit wider of a bandpass when it comes to the de-esser. So yeah, I think those two frequencies, this one is at 6K up here, and this one is about 4.5K down here. So past that, we're going to do some sends. So I'm just going to open up a few buses here. These are unlabeled, unedited buses so far. So in bus 1, we're just going to call this our reverb bus. I'm going to go to Waves and get the Rverb. It's a great reverb plugin. I'm going to go to the room setting here. Probably go to about a 3-second room. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to just use that and dial that to taste, and then we'll use an EQ.
Started out in Nashville. You've been on my mind, swear you've been there all the time. Said I'm gonna catch a flight to you.
Cool. So that's nice and airy and roomy. And now what we're going to do is just kind of take away some of those bad areas and frequencies. You could notice some muddiness down in the bottom end here that we're going to remove.
I pick you up at 9, honey, does that feel right? Like what you mean?
Okay. And then on the top end, we're going to roll down to maybe 8K or so, just to kind of get some extra high frequencies in the reverb that we don't want out of there.
When you say you're not about it, 17, you acted crazy, mama doubting. You.
Cool. And then any of these we can use to tonally shape the verb. I like to go about 2K or so and just kind of boost some of the nice, like, presence frequencies and those mid-rangey things.
Then me, not you, then me, till we pull it right back. We go week to week like I'm confused. How about we just set the mood?
Cool. So next we're just going to have a simple delay here. It's going to be our H delay from Waves. I'm going to go down here and title this delay. Have a pretty low feedback, as these give you quite a bit of feedback. Anything you go over about 30, it's just going to ring on like basically forever. This analog switch are some noise modelers that you can really hear pretty loudly when you have a mastering on, especially. So I just turn this analog knob off, and then I'm going to go ahead and dial this to taste, and then we'll clean it up.
Pick you up at 9, honey, does that feel right? Like what you mean when you say you're not about it? 17, you acted crazy, mama doubting you.
Cool. So that gives us some nice wideness out of that. Next, we're going to go ahead and scoop. I like to go up to about 400 to 500 or so. Scoop some 1K for that mid-rangey, you know, room resonance and things like that that you just don't want in delays, especially. You want them to sound really, really compressed and that kind of thing. And then we're going to go down to maybe 4K here, and then really get that kind of telephone filtered effect.
Pick you up at 9, honey, does that feel right?
Go ahead and turn it up a little bit.
Doubting you, then me, not you, then me, till we pull it right back. We go week to week, like I'm confused. How about we just set the mood?
Cool. Next, we're going to go ahead and go to maybe our modulation section here. Get a Logic plugin, a phaser out. Go to the warmth section, no stages there. And then just going to mix that in a little bit, just kind of give it some added, like, you know, phasing and different effects that are just kind of ear tickling and things like that.
Pick you up at 9, honey, does that
You can really hear it if you're trying to mix up. Maybe about there.
pull it right back? We go week to week, like I'm confused. How about we just set the mood?
Okay. Past that, I'm just going to add a little bit of chorus to get a little bit of a wider effect in the vocal. I'm just going to use the rate at 0.500 hertz here, the intensity at 10, and mix it 100 just like it comes. And then I'm just going to filter out some of the low frequencies, filter out some of the high highs, and we'll just get some nice kind of doubling in there, basically using this chorus.
Pick you up at 9, honey, does that feel right? Like what you mean when you say you're not about it?
After that's been dialed, we basically have the mix of our lead vocal done. Of course, we can add things like a slap delay or anything like that to kind of create a room, but I think for the sake of simplicity today, we're just going to leave it at that. Next, we're going to take the backgrounds. Honestly, I'm just going to copy this channel strip, take them and de-ess them a little bit heavier than I do with a normal vocal. Basically, I just want to stop any sibilants, S's and T's, things that will stick out happening at different times throughout the mix.
We should rendezvous, like rendezvous. How about we just rendezvous? Rendezvous, somewhere only me. Anywhere I go, baby, we should rendezvous. Yeah.
So we're just going to de-ess those a little bit heavier. Then when it comes to EQ, got the same EQ here. I'm just going to take the low and bring that up. We don't want any of that low end to show through with these because we want them to be pretty just wide and out there.
We should rendezvous, like rendezvous. How about we just rendezvous? Rendezvous.
Okay. And as far as the compressor goes, we're going to go have the similar settings, but I want them to kind of be a little bit behind the lead vocal. So I'm going to make the release a little bit slower and the attack a little bit faster. I'm also going to set this to opto smooth, just kind of smooth them out.
We should rendezvous, like rendezvous. How about we just rendezvous? Rendezvous.
Okay, that's all right. And then as far as the C4 multiband goes, you can have similar settings here.
We should rendezvous, like rendezvous. How about we just rendezvous? Rendezvous, somewhere only me and you. Rendezvous, how about we just rendezvous? Anywhere I go, baby, we should rendezvous. Yeah.
So as far as backgrounds go, I like to kind of treat them a little bit more like you can process them a little bit heavier. You don't have to be as delicate with them as you do with the lead vocal, just because they're going to be behind everything, and they're more as a filler rather than something that you're going to hear on their own. So as far as high mids go, we're not going to boost too much of those. We'll boost them a little bit just for the sake of brightness, and then we really want to get a lot of shimmer out of these. So I'm going to go up to about 15K and boost maybe 5 or 6 dB here in the SSL.
We should rendezvous, like rendezvous. How about we just rendezvous? Rendezvous, somewhere only me and you. Rendezvous.
And you might notice now that they're sticking out quite a bit, so I do want to kind of compress them back down to really fit into their mix, kind of.
We should rendezvous, like rendezvous. How about we just rendezvous? Rendezvous, somewhere only me and you. Rendezvous, how about we just rendezvous? Anywhere I go, baby, we should rendezvous, yeah.
So I do use this UAD LA2A style compressor. It's, you know, quite nice, you know, typical LA2A type sound. But I would just recommend using the Waves one if you don't have the UAD gear. J37 next. I just pretty much use the same preset.
We should rendezvous, like rendezvous. How about we just rendezvous? Rendezvous.
Okay. And then as far as these vocals go, I like to take them and put them in a similar space, but not the same space. So I'm going to go up to our mix window. We're going to create a new bus called bus 4. I'm going to title this modulation from earlier. Okay. And here we're going to have BGV reverb. Okay. So we're going to take this same reverb and the EQ as well. We're really just going to make the time a little bit bigger, and we're going to go into a different style of verb just to kind of put them in a little different space, and we'll see how that sounds.
We should rendezvous, like rendezvous. How about we just rendezvous? Rendezvous, somewhere only me and you. Rendezvous, how about we just rendezvous? Anywhere I go, baby, we should rendezvous, yeah. We should rendezvous, like.
Okay, so I like that. I like how that's dialed. And then as far as the rest, I'm just going to get a little bit of chorus in there. I don't really like to put a whole bunch of delay on extra things. It kind of clutters up the mix.
We should rendezvous, like rendezvous. How about rendezvous? Rendezvous.
Okay.
We should rendezvous, like rendezvous. How about we just rendezvous? Rendezvous, somewhere only me and you. Rendezvous, how about we just rendezvous? Anywhere I go, baby, we should rendezvous, yeah.
Cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you made it this far in the video, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, ask what you want to see next. I'll be sure to do more of these in the future if I get enough attention towards this video. But yeah, if you want to see anything else, or if you have anything to say, leave it in the comment section. I'll be happy to read it and respond. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.
Anywhere I go, baby, we should rendezvous, like rendezvous. How about we just rendezvous? Rendezvous, somewhere only me and you. Rendezvous.